we can prove is that you were on Braddock Road the night she went missing.
Can I go home?
No, you cannot.
Why is that?
Because I'm charging you with murder.
I didn't do murder.
Well, I'm charging you with it, and we can prove it, Johnny.
No, you cannot, because I didn't do it.
Johnny Wayne Johnson is hit with a harsh dose of reality as the silence of a 4-year-old crime finally shatters. Sherry Lee Prather was last seen riding off with Johnny before her mysterious disappearance. Shockingly, a month later, her decomposed remains were discovered in the woods. Gradually, the investigation hit a dead end as Johnny slipped further out of reach. However, years later, a clinching piece of evidence eventually placed him right back at the center of this chilling mystery.
You told her about it, Johnny.
No.
How do you think we went to Braddock Road? You showed Samantha where the body was.
These are just glimpses of the drama lying ahead, and as the truth inches closer, this master manipulator will pull out every tactic to escape the bleak reality closing in on him. Sherry, a single mother, lived with her 2 daughters and mother in Jacksonville, Florida. But due to a prolonged history of relationships, she struggled with substance and alcohol addiction. However, over the past few years, Sherry had started focusing on rebuilding her life. Yet, she was unaware of the biggest tragedy about to unfold. On October 12, 2012, after a fun night out with her friends, Sherry left the Boots and Bottles Tavern bar around 2:20 a.m. to head home, but she never showed up. Sherry's sudden disappearance prompted her family to report her missing. Police questioned the bar owner and patrons, but couldn't get any leads. Tragically, a month later, on November 12th, the search took a harrowing turn when they received a major break in the case. A childhood friend of Sherry's daughter, Teresa Lennox, came forward with some crucial information. She informed detectives that her uncle told her that he had found a body dumped near Braddock Road, most likely that of Sherry. This information directed officers to the location, where they discovered a scene unlike anything. They found human remains scattered across the area, likely due to animal activity. An X-ray comparison finally confirmed the remains were Sherry's and determined that her death was caused by a gunshot wound. Furthermore, after a diligent search, surveillance footage near the Boots and Bottles bar showed what investigators had been seeking all along. It captured Sherry's final moments, riding off with a man identified as Johnny Wayne Johnson, also known as the Viking. When detectives approached him, he denied any involvement. With no solid evidence linking Johnny to the crime, detectives were forced to let him go. The investigation eventually stretched for 4 long years. However, during this period, detectives uncovered a trail of evidence that led them back to Johnny, with shocking details that would unfold at each turn.
So after this incident, got a little heated, where people were investigating this homicide. You were the last one, obviously, to be seen with her.
And I was the last one to be questioned that I know of.
And so kind of the pressure's on you because you were the last one with her.
Yeah, I understand that.
And she was on your bike,
Mm-hmm.
which you admit, that's the picture of you.
Yeah.
Her on the bike with you. You leave the bar. You drop her off somewhere off Trout River. Mm-hmm. You go back home, which is over there in Picketttville.
No.
At the time, or what's that called?
Dinsmore.
Dinsmore.
Yeah.
And, and then that was it. You never seen her again.
No. It's like I told the cop, if I knew anything more, I wouldn't have,
Johnny, you told some people some different stories, though.
I never told nobody no different story. I told them all the same thing. I tell everybody the same thing. I dropped her off on Trout River, and that's it. That was the last time I saw her.
But you've told a few different people some stories about Sherry and on Braddock Road.
I don't know nothing about it. What are you talking about?
You told some stories to different people that I think you trusted at the time about Sherry, about Braddock Road, how y'all stopped on Braddock Road. Do you remember going down Braddock Road?
No, I don't even know where Braddock Road is.
You don't know where Braddock Road is?
Mm-mm.
And at the time of that incident, your phone, and this is why I need an explanation of why you were on Braddock Road, because your phone hits off of Braddock Road that night.
I don't know. Cause see, that's what I was understanding. I lost that phone. That phone that you were talking about, if I remember now, because I lost that phone days prior to the whole incident.
Okay, you lost it prior to the incident?
Yes. And
how long prior?
I
So
was
8/02/2117 you lost before the incident?
Yes. And the only people that I was hanging out with at the time was Oliver and that other guy.
So the night that you took Sherry and dropped her off of Lim Turner, or Trout River, I'm sorry, Trout River. How many days before that do you remember not having that phone?
Probably about 3.
Probably about 3 days. Yeah. So you were 100% sure you did not have it that night.
Yes, because I had a different phone number at that time.
And you definitely didn't have it the day after. So you lost it 3 days prior to this. So you didn't have it this night. You didn't have it the next day,
right.
or the next day, or the next day, or any time after that.
Right.
Done. Now, tell me about when you were married to Samantha.
Oh, that was a roller. This woman here, I ended up divorcing her because she just was going crazy. She was into this stuff called swinging, where she wanted multiple partners, and I just wasn't with it. Yeah. And she's been trying to get me back for years. She finally realized I wasn't. I hadn't seen her since probably 2010, 2009, 2010. Mm-hmm. And we got our divorce. Last time I saw her, we got our divorce. After that, I never heard nothing else from her. Then she finds out I'm working up here at Ace Hardware at the time. So she tries to talk to me. She says, "Won't you call me sometime?" I said, "No, I'm happily with somebody, and I don't want to call you because I don't want to cause that kind of disturbance."
She came up there?
Oh, yes. So then, next thing I know, I'm getting served with a restraining order from her. And my fiance can tell you, I don't even talk to this woman more or less go around her, period.
So before y'all got signed divorce papers, when's the last time you saw her before that? You said 2009?
2009, 2010, maybe.
So you didn't see her after this incident in 2012?
Johnny was married to Samantha Johnson. However, due to his past criminal history and domestic issues, the couple decided to part ways. After their separation, Johnny began dating another woman named Jordan. Until now, Johnny seems quite confident in countering the accusations. However, this certainty is not without basis. He has carefully planted alibis over the last 4 years, which have saved him so far. Now, these alibis will become the very reason to drastically flip the entire case against him.
Why would she tell me after this incident in 2012, and we're talking October of 2012 is when this girl goes missing,
right?
That she saw you.
That woman there, let me tell you something.
And that you came over there.
Let me tell you something. This woman here got DCF called to my mom because I wouldn't take her back. Tried to get DCF called to me. My 15-year-old is 6'3", 255 pounds. He bench presses over 200 pounds. Told DCF that I choke him out and beat him and kick him with steel-toe boots on. There's no way without repercussions, you know? And when DCF saw them, they dropped all charges on me and my mom. But she's periodically, she goes around she thinks it can work in her favor some kind of way, she would throw my name out there, just like she went to my Aunt Betty one time and told her, while I was on the road, told her that I was in Callahan outside of her house stalking her. But at the time, I was in Chicago, Illinois.
Well, Johnny, I can prove that that's not true.
Yeah, I can prove it is true.
I can prove that I can actually prove that the exact day that she came over to your house in 2012 and y'all had in your garage.
No. The only time she came over to my house, and if it was in 2012, it was to sign the divorce papers.
I know that wasn't. Divorce papers didn't get filed in 2012.
But that's the only time she came over to my house was to sign divorce papers. I never had with her in my garage. I don't mess around with that woman. My mother, Dana, and a whole bunch of other people will tell you the same thing. That woman will tell you that I have. That woman will tell you I will.
So Johnny, you never confessed to Samantha that you killed this girl. You never confessed to Jordan that you killed this girl.
No.
You never confessed to Michael Carroll Hasty that you killed this girl.
No.
You never confessed to Ollie that you killed this girl.
No.
And the whole thing with the cell phone is the cell phone number you said you lost 3 days before.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
No.
Because it's at Boots and Bottles when you're there and when you leave, and it follows down Trout River.
And I have
Up
all his
US
text
1.
messages.
Then if it was there, it wasn't in my possession.
Well,
Yes,
then
it was. 'Cause you're
someone was
texting
following you.
Samantha
No.
and Jordan.
I don't fool around with her.
When you were
period.
texting Jordan, you were dating Jordan then.
I was dating Jordan in
Right.
2012.
Right.
I
You're
don't
talking
mess
to her on this phone. I have
Y'all
your
are
phone
talking-
record.
y'all-
Well, maybe in the beginning of 2000.
No,
No.
honey, I have your,
At the
I
day
have
of
your
this
phone
murder.
records.
But like,
I have your phone records, your text messages. Johnny, this has been a 4-year investigation.
but I didn't do this, is what I'm saying.
Well, but you're not telling me. You think all these people are going to say that you confessed to them and you didn't? You think that your phone records are going to show one thing and you're telling me that you didn't have that phone for 3 days prior to this incident? That's a lie and I can prove it.
But I'm telling you, I didn't.
But
I
you
didn't.
did.
No, I'm saying I didn't do this.
You had this. You had Samantha. You saw her in 2012.
Well, what does that
You
got to
talked
do?
her.
What does that got to do with this?
It shows
Because-
you're lying to us right now. That's what it
But
shows.
I'm just telling you, I don't remember all the dates from back then.
But if you're lying to us about this, why should we believe you about that?
Well, I understand it. But
Okay.
I don't remember everything about.
Not everything, but you were you remember very well that, oh no, 3 days before that incident, I didn't have that
That's
phone.
what I'm thinking. Is it might have been 3 days, but I don't know when exactly I lost the phone. It could have been 3 days. It could have been somewhere in between, but I don't remember. But I do remember dropping her off on Trout River.
On Braddock Road, because that's where
No.
your phone goes.
I did not drop her off on.
So
Braddock.
you had that phone, and your phone goes to Braddock Road.
Well, if it was, like I said, I didn't even know that road was Braddock Road.
Okay, but you had her on the motorcycle, so you actually go past where you say, y'all keep going, and y'all do go to Braddock Road.
No.
Whether you know the name of it or not, that's where your
What I'm
phone
saying,
goes.
what I'm saying is, I never took this girl to Braddock Road. I never took her there.
How did she get there with your phone at the same time? Explain that. I'm
What
confused.
do you mean she was there at the same time my phone?
Your phone was there on Braddock Road the evening that her body was put there.
And I don't know how it got there, because all I know is that night when I woke up the next day, I could not call Ollie at all. I could not call nobody at all
What's that?
because I had no phone.
Yes, you did.
The next
Matter of
day,
fact, you called Ollie that night several times.
that next day, I had no phone. I'm
you
telling
did.
you.
No, I'm telling you.
Well, the next day, that's what you're telling people after you've contacted people, is that you lost your phone.
The
But you were
truth,
contacting people.
John, if you're telling the truth, you can remember exactly. You can't remember because you're not telling the truth.
No, I'm being honest with you. I cannot remember everything, every detail.
But if
You
it
gotta
was the
understand.
truth, you could remember.
But you got to understand, a lot. I've had a lot to go on
Sure.
since then. I was drugged not long ago. I was put in the hospital for 3 days. I was found. My fiance will tell you. I was found inside of a shed in Sarasota, Florida. When I was brought up here to St. Vincent's Hospital, they couldn't even draw my blood out with a syringe. According to my fiance, the doctors told her I had something called Rohypnol in my system. And I didn't even know what that
That doesn't
was.
affect your memory.
No, but what I'm saying is, even my wife would even tell you, I have trouble remembering dates. I have trouble remembering times.
This is an incident you will never forget.
I don't forget this because of the
Exactly.
face.
You don't forget this because
But
this girl went
simple-
missing when she was with you.
But simple things like losing the cell phone, I will forget. But this, I don't.
Well, that's fine. We can tell you didn't lose the cell phone. You had the cell phone the night this happened,
In the morning
and the next morning.
when you're blowing up Ollie's phone because you're nervous.
No, I wasn't nervous. I was not nervous. What did I have to be nervous about? I didn't even know the girl was missing. I didn't know the girl was missing until.
Do you want me to read your text messages? Because I will surprise you what you were texting your friends. I don't think obviously you don't remember what you texted. But Johnny, this has been a 4-year investigation that has been out there. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm being honest with you. I don't know.
You're not being honest, Johnny, but you got to explain your side of the story.
And I have been. I dropped her off on Trout River.
But you didn't.
I did.
You took her to Braddock Road.
No.
But what happened after Braddock Road? Did you just leave her on Braddock Road? I don't know, but you have to explain why you went to Braddock Road. That's what I need to know.
I didn't know that was Braddock Road.
But that's where you were.
Johnny clings to his initial narrative that he dropped Sherry off at a house before the tragic incident. Even though he attempts to elicit detective sympathy by presenting himself as a victim, they don't seem to fall for his tricks. The detectives are persistent and confrontational from the beginning. They're armed with evidence that will gradually peel back the dark layers of the past 4 years. Back in 2012, though they lacked enough evidence to charge Johnny, he still remained their prime suspect. His ex-wife, Samantha Johnson, had informed detectives about Johnny's disturbing secret, one she had concealed for far too long.
Okay, what do you say about the girl that was on the back of the motorcycle?
He took her to somewhere off Trout River Boulevard, Braddock Road, and dropped her off.
And at that point, he shot her?
Yes, sir. He said he didn't have enough time to move the female, so he just dragged her into the woods.
But this sole statement wasn't sufficient to build a case. In an attempt to aid detectives in getting stronger evidence, Samantha agreed to wear a hidden recording device. She hoped this would help get a confession from Johnny.
It was a detective that was investigating a missing persons case.
Yeah.
Who discovered it off of a tip.
But isn't that the place that you said all this happened?
Like I said, I ain't just...
But what really happened?
It is what it is. Right now I don't want to really get into it until it's over with, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough.
Unfortunately, Samantha couldn't elicit a confession. But this incident later became evidence against Johnny, contradicting his claim that he had not met Samantha since 2010. But what is even more puzzling is that despite being warned about detectives' awareness, he continues to lie his way out. Gradually, his lies begin to fall apart. Yet, this is merely a glimpse. Johnny's shifting accounts will leave everyone wondering how far he will go to reshape reality in his favor.
You've got the phone, okay? You've got the phone before you pick Sherry up. Mm-hmm. You've got the phone after Sherry's gone, and you're texting, what's the girl's name at that time? I'm sorry. Jordan. You're texting Jordan, you're calling Ollie.
Right.
I mean, and that's what she's gonna pull up is some text messages. There's text messages between you and Jordan, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, hey, bring your truck over here, things like that are, you need help.
It's probably because my bike was down at the time.
Your bike was in your driveway, you said, when it got
I'm saying my bike, sometimes
Did Sherry knock your bike over?
No. Sometimes my bike...
Sherry knocked his bike over.
No, Sherry did not knock my bike over. Sometimes my bike shuts off on its own. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it don't. Sometimes I need tools to finagle it,
But at 3 o'clock in the morning, you need Jordan to come over and...
She lived with me.
Okay. But you're saying you were in the driveway when it fell over.
Yeah, but when it fell over now, Jordan met me at the house.
But that's not what she says.
Or
she met you at the house later that night, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, later that evening you called her.
Later that evening she met me at the house.
Because you called her.
Mm-hmm.
And then after
on this phone.
Correct, on that phone.
I may have called her on that phone.
You did.
I don't remember when I lost this, what I'm saying. I don't remember when I lost it. Now, what I do remember is where I dropped this young lady off at.
That's a long distance crazy. From where you dropped her off to where she's found.
Right.
Where your phone is.
Right.
I mean, 3 days after you still have this phone.
No.
Yes, you do.
I don't know if I do or not.
You do. We can
if
tell you
I got the phone, I got the phone.
You changed phone numbers 3 days after or so.
Johnny, the only thing that's going to explain your side of the story is the truth of why you went down Braddock Road. We can prove it.
And when I left, I went home.
That still doesn't explain how your phone ends up on Braddock Road.
I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is when I realized my phone was missing, that is when a lot of my friends started acting funny around me. Mm-hmm. And then people started staying away from me.
But you had your phone another 3 days at least after she went missing.
I may have. You
did according to your phone records.
Yeah, I may
and then
have.
you changed phone numbers.
Yeah, because that's when I noticed my phone was missing. And I asked Ollie, I said, did you see my phone? Did I leave it at your shop? He said no. I said, okay. And I went to Wolverine. He would never answer his phone. Mm-hmm. He would never answer his door. So I was like, okay. So when Ollie said, Wolverine said he never saw it. I asked Shooter. Shooter said he didn't see it.
Okay. Now you've added additional story to what you originally told Detective Villanueva. Okay, so you take the route from Boots and Bottles. You take her to Trout River. You make a phone. She makes a phone call.
Yes.
You drive up Lim Turner to Laney Road. You stop somewhere around the P Farm. Then you take her back to Lim Turner up to Church Road.
If you go down Laney Road, mm-hmm. you'll come up. There'll be a side road.
Yeah.
And on that side road, there's a house.
Okay.
And right on the corner, and it's right by the fish camp.
Okay.
On Laney Road, mm-hmm. and that's when the one guy met.
Yeah.
With us, he was over there with a couple of his brothers. They met.
But you left there with her.
Yes.
And you took her all the way back to Trout River.
Yes, I did.
Never went down Braddock Road.
No.
You took her back to Trout River and dropped her off. Right. So it still doesn't answer how your phone ends up at Braddock Road, the same spot where she goes missing.
We may, like I said, on the way to Laney Road, we may have.
You wouldn't have gone down Braddock. You wouldn't even have been close going the direction that you said.
I don't know.
And that's another thing that I'm uncomfortable with, is now you're adding another step that you never told the detectives about going to this guy's house up in Callahan.
All I know is I dropped her off on Trout River. That was the last place I saw her. Outside of that, and you can say no all you want, and it is the truth.
Well, there are witnesses that say you point out where she...
And I will tell them witnesses they are lying, mm-hmm. because I don't even know where she's found on the road.
But those witnesses are the ones that led us to her body.
I don't know. I don't even know how they would know. I wouldn't know. I don't know where she was. All I know is she was found on Braddock Road, because that's what my mother told me. That's what my Uncle George told me. That is what everybody has told me. But I don't know whereabouts on Braddock she was found.
But you don't even know about where Braddock Road is. Johnny, you grew up in Jacksonville. You grew up on the north side.
I'm telling you, I do not know. And I didn't grow up entirely in Jacksonville. I lived all over Florida. I just don't remember all the names of the roads that I went down that night. All I know is I dropped her off, and I told the cop, because this freaked me out when they said she came up missing. And it freaked me out. It really freaked me out, because I never wanted to be the last guy to see anybody,
But 4 years later, that's still where we are.
Yeah.
Is you're still the last guy, but now everything points to you being the last person to see her on Braddock Road where she's found.
Yeah.
I want to say the guy with the tattoos name's James, but I ain't for sure. Don't hold me to that. Please don't hold me to that. But I don't know for sure. But if I saw a picture of him, I could recognize him.
But you've never told that to any of the
Well, I
people.
don't know what all she was doing. Even like I told the cops, she was acting funny that night. She was acting, I don't know how you say it. She was doing this number with her hands and like rubbing their hands. And she was acting real jittery. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And it made me uncomfortable. And I said, look, I can't wait for you. I got to go.
So what happened when you dropped her off on Trout River?
I'd left her. She went up the hill. Like I told the cops, she went up that little hill or down on that road.
Was she going to come back or?
No. She said she was fine. I told her, I said, you sure you want me to drop you here? She said, yeah. She said, I'm fine. All I know is she was seeing a guy named Curtis. I don't know who Curtis is, but that's who she was going to see. And she had a little flip face. It was a heavy-set girl that wore braids.
Johnny, here's the issue I keep having. Every time we show you that there's something else wrong with your story, you try to make it fit into what we're showing you. That's not the case.
I'm not trying to make nothing.
Well,
fit in.
and I know, but you left out the part of Laney Road originally. We told you that,
Yeah.
you told us about Laney.
Like I said, if I come down, I may have come at one time with her on here, but I didn't stop here with her. I didn't leave her here.
Did y'all stop and make a phone call on Braddock coming back through?
No.
Instead of US 1, could it have been Braddock Road?
It could have been Braddock Road.
Okay.
But at the same time, I didn't leave her here. I left her on Trout River, just like I told the other cops.
I'll tell you what it looks like and what I'm thinking right now is that y'all stopped for whatever reason on Braddock Road, okay? Maybe she makes a phone call. I don't know. But something happens right there. And you take her out and dump her body and go home.
No. I can't do that. I can't even hunt.
You say that, but that's... I don't know you, you don't know me.
Right.
I don't know what you're capable of, you don't know what I'm capable
But anybody will tell you I don't have the stomach to go
of.
hunt.
That's not what people are telling us, though.
I don't.
Yeah.
If you ask my mother, you
This
ask my
isn't about
uncle.
hunting. This isn't about animals.
This is about getting
This is about
pissed at
somebody
someone.
pissing you off.
No, I can't hit a woman. Vicky beat me in my back with a baseball bat. I never hit her back. I never even vengefully come at her.
Sherry made you mad. She said something.
No.
She said something to you that
No,
made
she
you
did
mad.
not.
She kicked your bike over. She did something.
No.
Does Sherry have tattoos?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know if she had any tattoos?
No. I didn't pay that close attention to her. She didn't make me mad. She didn't
Did you
kick.
have with her that night?
No. I didn't.
Then why do you tell somebody you did?
I didn't tell nobody I had with her. I didn't have with her.
You did tell somebody then.
I swear to you, I did not. Me and her had a falling out. It was actually me and her husband who had the falling out.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, why is everybody against you?
I'm the black sheep of my family, regardless. Because that's just the way it always is. Only people in my family that ever cared about me was my uncle Junior, my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle George on my mother's side, and my grandmother on my mother's side.
But why would the people that you were hanging with at the time be against you? Why would they just make this stuff up? Why would your phone records put you there? Why would they make this up? Why
I
were you
don't
the
know.
last one leaving with
That's
them?
why. That's a question I cannot answer.
Why are you lying to me about not seeing Samantha in 2012?
I'm
'Cause you
not
did.
lying. The last time I saw
Johnny,
her,
I can prove it because I was outside of your house when she went there.
I cannot. I honestly,
I was there.
I never had with her.
Oh, really? Because I got something to prove that. You're lying. So quit lying. There's a reason why you're on Braddock Road. You have to give your side of the story. This is the
I'm
only time that
giving
you
you
can
my
tell
side of the
me.
story. I'm giving you my side of the
But
story.
your side doesn't add up with
Just
the
like
Doesn't
I haven't
make
seen
sense.
Samantha in 2000. I haven't seen her. I know I never saw her that year. That's bullshit. Because I was sitting outside of your house when she went in. I was there.
Now she's been up to my house to see my mom, but I've never seen her. I don't
Yes,
hang
you
out with
did.
her.
Yes, you did because I was there. In an undercover car. You never saw me and my partner. I was there and I watched her with you.
I never had.
I have it on recording, Johnny.
I don't have.
I have it on recording.
No,
Yes, I do.
no. I never had with her in my garage.
Why are you lying about simple stuff? That's
I
simple
don't
stuff.
associate with that woman.
Detectives use a trap strategy that involves not revealing all the evidence at once. They let Johnny tell his version first, then begin dismantling his story with evidence they already uncovered. This approach helps them to question the credibility of his claims. Furthermore, detectives continuously pose questions, providing Johnny less time to think. This technique highlights the inconsistencies in his account. It gradually becomes evident through the 3 different versions he has provided about the phone. In the course of the investigation, Samantha directed detectives to another key figure, Johnny's girlfriend Jordan. She initially hesitated to share any details. However, with the detective's persistence, she ultimately decided to break her silence.
And if you remember it and you see it, that's fine.
I remember him throwing stuff out the window.
But you don't remember where.
I remember him
or
throwing
when.
a case. I remember thinking, why do you have a gun case?
Yeah.
Whenever I said something about the gun case, he just went into, I'm not going to look up details. Ollie in this gun case, and he's been holding on to it forever, and blah, 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 blah.
Said Ollie gave him the gun case.
Yeah, he just was on and on and on, and I didn't care anymore.
Do you remember when this was? Was it like a couple days after that? After the
This
girl
was
went
like
missing?
a week after the guys came to talk to us. After the
detectives, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He keeps saying something to me about pulling back, and how he knows people have talked to them, that I'm not supposed to say anything to you guys. How he knows when people have talked because they pull back. Because he thought I was pulling back.
When do you think that?
A couple days after the detectives came to talk to us.
Did you?
Yeah. I was. I mean, I haven't. All I did was answer their questions.
Right.
He asked me he kept going over and over and over and over and over again what I said and what I did and what I was like.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't need to know that we talk, and he doesn't need to know that you're pulling back, which you are in your mind.
I'm afraid of what I'm going to know if I talk.
Why?
He already thinks that I was pulling back before.
And what did he do?
He just kept bringing stories up.
Of what?
Of, like, things that had happened with the outlaws.
Like what?
Like a girl, one of the old ladies, which is what he calls me, dyed her hair red accidentally. It was red and white. It's apparently some rival club or whatever, it might be gang.
Mm-hmm.
And they shaved her head.
Hmm.
And some other girl had gotten smart with someone of power.
Mm-hmm.
And they were either going to take care of it or the girl boyfriend had to take care of it. That was a member of the club.
Take care of us and what?
Beat her.
Hmm.
While Johnny believed the case had gone cold, detectives were building a strong case against him. They were assembling a wall of evidence that would dismantle his facade. In 2016, the final and most crucial witness, Michael Carroll, Johnny's friend, came forward with details that were about to alter the course of this twisted case. He informed detectives that on the day of Sherry's murder, Johnny called him. He admitted to dumping her body and said that he had messed up and needed help in cleaning. Michael's confession matched the timeline and the location where Sherry was found. Back in the interrogation room, detectives confront Johnny with the mounting evidence, and the cracks in his story begin to show. Sensing that detectives are closing in on him, Johnny tries every possible way to deflect the blame. However, he remains unaware that each new shift in his narrative only makes him more suspicious.
November 5th of 2012, you went, and I can prove that, you went to her daughter's doctor's appointment with her.
I did not.
Yes, you did!
Not in 2012, no.
The
I have record of it.
say that you were there.
I
That's
have
the
record of
doctor's
it, Johnny!
records.
I'm not making this up!
2012 of December?
November.
Of November of 2012, you
I
went
don't
with
remember these
Samantha and her daughter.
I don't remember the dates of these things. I remember going to a doctor's appointment when I was living with her and her daughter off of Revere Street before I moved out. But I moved out short time after.
Johnny, this stuff's falling apart quickly, okay? The more you sit here and you tell us these lies, it makes you look like... listen. It makes you look like, hey, I'm just a cold-blooded... Listen to me for a minute. I've listened for a while. It makes it look like, okay, I'm going to push it off on everybody else. I don't care. It's not my responsibility. I didn't do it. That's my lies. I'm going to leave it with that. But it makes you look like a cold-blooded killer. There may be a good reason something happened or something went wrong, but that's what we got to know. Right now, if we take all this to a jury in front of a jury, they're going to say, oh, man, boy, that man's a cold-blooded killer.
No, I didn't do this.
Well, who did?
I don't know who did.
Well, you went to Braddock Road with her.
I don't know who did
But
this.
you went to Braddock Road with her.
But I didn't leave her on Braddock Road.
Okay, did you go on Braddock Road, yes or no?
I went down it, but I guess...
With her.
I guess.
No, it's not a guess.
I'm assuming if you say I did, I did.
No. I want you to tell me because that's what you remember. I'm not going to put words in your mouth.
I don't remember the streets, is what I'm telling you.
You, your phone, and Sherry Prather are right there on Braddock Road where she is located. Dead.
I don't know how she got there.
Johnny, if there was somebody else on the road when you left her on Braddock Road, that's what we need to know. But once we're done, we're not going to ask you that again.
The only other person that she knows over on that side is that guy I told you about.
Right, but it's about what you saw, and if you dropped her off on Braddock Road and you're too scared to tell us because that's where we found the body, we need to know that. Because if we don't know it now, what are we gonna assume? But we have to know the complete side of your story, even if you're nervous to tell us. But we have to know because we got to know all the facts. All the facts. Even if you're too scared to tell us, we have to know all the facts. If you left her on Braddock Road, you have to tell us you left her on Braddock Road. But I'm not putting words in your mouth.
The last person I saw her with was when I saw her was with them guys I told you about.
Not on Braddock Road.
She was not on Braddock Road. And it was a guy named Curtis she said she was meeting. And it was that other guy I told you about that has the tattoos on his head.
That's not true. Or Trout River, I'm sorry. That's not true. And nobody's going to believe that. Now, if you're willing, if that's your story, and you want to play a game and gamble?
I'm not playing games.
If you want to gamble, I'm sure you've gambled. You get on a casino or a table? Okay. Well, if you want to gamble your life based on that story, if you want people to believe that story, that's a big gamble I would never be willing to take.
But I didn't.
That's my freedom, Johnny. That's your freedom.
I know, and that's
You're
what
gambling with it.
I'm pleading with you. I did not do this.
Okay. If you didn't do this, how... Okay, maybe you did not do this. Maybe you did not.
I didn't.
Okay, maybe you didn't. But what we can prove is that you were on Braddock Road the night she went missing.
Okay.
Explain Braddock Road, and I don't want to hear no more bullshit about, I know where Braddock Road is. That's a bunch of crap. I don't want to hear it anymore. Were you or were you not on Braddock Road with Sherry Prather that night after you took her on your motorcycle?
We met that guy.
Where?
We met him where is it that? The guy I told you that was here.
On Laney Road.
Yeah, we met him here.
You met him at the intersection of Braddock and Laney.
Yeah.
Okay, why is your story changing again?
Because I'm scared.
You got no reason to change the story.
What are you scared for? What are you scared for?
I'm scared of this guy.
You're scared of this guy?
Oh, I'm real scared of this guy. You
So-
don't know what I know.
Well, then let me ask you that. Before I talk about that, let me just make this clear. Because, again, I don't want you to appear like a liar
Right.
to others people.
Right.
We're going to go back. Do you?
If I
Or
tell
do you not?
If I tell you what I know
Yes.
about this
Okay.
and tell you about that guy,
Okay.
you got to promise me whatever happens to me does not happen to my kids. Because this guy will kill me.
Well, none of your kids. Listen, though. I need the truth right now. Your only last chance to tell me the truth. You do or do not know Braddock Road, yes or no?
I didn't know the name of it, but we were on that road.
And how do you know that?
Because we met that guy here.
How do you know if you don't know the name of that road? Now, remember...
Because he told me where it's at, and I remember...
But I don't want
going
anybody putting words in your mouth.
No.
Okay?
I remembered how we got on that road, and I honestly do, and this is the honest truth. And I'm scared right now.
Well, just the truth is what's going to help, so go ahead.
No, I'm telling you right now, if I tell you about this guy, he is mean. He will get me.
Now, who is he?
I don't know his name, but I know his face. He's short. He's about my height, but he's got tattoos on his head. He hangs out with Big Mike that runs with the Outlaws.
Okay. Well, you haven't told us who he is. Tell us what happened.
When I come down, she made a call.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come down, we met them people here.
Okay.
How do you know now that it's Braddock Road?
Because when we first was here, we backtracked to here and come down here, and that's when she tapped me on the shoulder to turn.
Okay, so you never came up to Laney. You turned on Dunn.
Yeah.
Now, where... Because there's a lot of roads along Dunn Avenue.
When we come down, right, When we come down, she said it's the road right before the Food Lion. It's a road right before it's on the opposite side of the park.
Okay.
She said it'll be on my right side.
Because what you're saying is there's a Food Lion here,
Yes.
and there's a park across the street.
Yes.
Okay.
When we come down this road, we came here. When we got somewhere on this road, I don't know. I think
Is there a subdivision around, or what was around the area?
At the time, it was. I could see the intersection here.
You could see Lim Turner.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see the intersection here.
There
And I
any
can see a
houses or
stop
anything
sign.
around?
No, not at that time.
Okay.
And that's when they came up. They were in a white Ford pickup truck that was beat up with no tailgates. Curtis was driving. He was a heavy set guy, kind of like kind of remind me like the guy off of Lizard Lick Towing. Kind of real heavy set, had a goatee, talked with a southern accent. Him and that other guy I told you about, and they had another guy with them. She told me she wanted to meet up with them. Now, they said that they had to run over here again. Well, I don't know what they talked about. But that is them are the people that she was ended up with, right there.
So you dropped her off at Braddock and Turner, is what you're saying now.
Yes, I did.
But y'all came down Dunn and went down Braddock. So you rode all the way down Braddock to Lim Turner.
Right.
You want another water?
I'm scared to death right now. I need something.
Are you more scared of them, or are you more scared of prison for the rest of your
I'm
life?
scared of them.
So you'd rather go to prison for the rest of your
No,
life then?
I would not.
Johnny conveniently employs memory defense, a calculated technique to avoid committing to a disproven timeline. He also attempts to mask his image of a cold-blooded killer by portraying himself as an innocent man, afraid for his life. When confronted about disposing Sherry's body, Johnny deflects the blame, asserting he is incapable of such lethal violence. However, eventually, he becomes trapped in his own web of lies. To this point, the only account he has been holding on to from the beginning has also changed. So far, Johnny's account contains a multitude of denials. However, despite his efforts, detectives challenge his excuses with evidence, making his claims unlikely to hold up. As the moment of reckoning comes closer, the circle tightens, forcing Johnny to unleash a drama that defies explanation.
And I dropped her off, like I said, with them guys, and they were in a white Ford pickup truck, and it was beat up.
Why would she get on the bike with you if you don't know her?
I don't know. That's
Why would
what
you take her?
Because I'm just, anytime a woman ever wanted to ride with me on the bike, I'm like, sure, go ahead. You know how often I don't get that? No, I don't get that at all. I was riding in a Honda. Everybody I know rides Harleys. They'd rather go riding on the Harley instead of on the Honda. She happened to want to ride with me that night. I took her for a ride. That's it.
How intoxicated was she that night?
And she wasn't really like intoxicated. She just was fidgety. Real fidgety.
She been doing any drugs, taking
I don't
any
know.
pills?
I don't know. But the way she was fidgety, she made me nervous.
I'm going to sign that. Just want to sign that to make sure that it's true and correct. We just put down here, Johnny Wayne Johnson today is the 11/18 of 2016. Okay. So this is a true reflection of your memory of that night. Yes. Okay.
Which is different than what you told Detective Villanueva in the very beginning, where y'all come drop her off on Trout River and then you just go home.
Yeah, that Ollie said this was a bad light on me because of the predicament it put me in. He said if I was you, I wouldn't tell him I was nowhere around that girl.
So you never took her back to Trout River?
No.
You never talked to the black lady?
I took the guy up there that...
But you never talked to the black lady?
No. And the people that I actually dropped her off with is them people I told you about. Curtis, Hillbilly, and that other guy. But I don't remember his name. I don't know his name. I don't... them guys there... I knew I had to be in their clubhouse, but I had kept the distance from a lot of them. I mean, I introduced myself to them, and then I just walk on so they get to know me. But at the same time, the things I saw, I didn't want to hang out with them.
Well, Johnny, let me ask you this. The truth be told now, because, I know you said didn't see Samantha after this incident that year. But you did, because I was there.
I saw her a couple of times, but I don't remember having with her or anything.
You did. And it's okay. I don't care about that. Yeah. Whoever you want to have with. Actually, I mean, who cares? But I definitely know that she saw you.
But I'm not going to jail for something I didn't do.
Okay. She saw you. And then you went with her and her daughter to the doctor in November.
But see, I don't remember that, though. That's the only thing I'm saying is I don't remember going to the doctor. Now, if you say I did, if you say there's...
Who had the brain injury that needed surgery? Kristen?
Yes.
Or Teresa?
That was Kristen, but that wasn't in 2012. That was in 2011.
She went to the doctor in 2012,
Wait a
and
minute.
you went with her.
I just grabbed my stuff, said, if she wants, you can have it.
But, so Kristen remembers, not only does Samantha remember, but Kristen remembers that you went to the doctor with her in November.
Okay.
November 5th.
All right.
You went with her and Kristen to Kristen's doctor's appointment, which no big deal.
Okay.
Okay, so...
What has that got to do with anything, though?
Because when you brought her back, you wanted to ride with Samantha to take Kristen back to school, which was fine.
No. I never went to her school with her daughters.
Just to drop her off, not to go into school.
I'm telling you.
But you don't even remember the doctor's appointment, so how do you
No,
remember things
but I'm telling you, I've never been to the school with her or the kids.
Okay, you were with her on November 5th. Okay. And then instead of going the regular way down US 1, you took her down Braddock Road.
No, I did not. I'm telling you, if we come any path of travel that we travel to the doctor, her and I, it's always been on US 1.
Correct.
Because we always took it all the way over to Baptist Memorial.
Correct.
And that's the way we always came
right, but
home.
she said this time you cut through Braddock Road and you pointed out to the woods.
No, I
You
did
had
not.
something to show her.
No, I did not. I'm telling you, I did not. She didn't even know nothing about this until after it made news. I'm telling you, after the detective started asking me questions, that's when she started trying to ask my mom questions. That's when she started talking
Right,
about
because
this
she
thing.
was doing it for me.
But see, I didn't know nothing about it.
You did, because you told her about it. Johnny,
No.
how do you think we went to Braddock Road? You showed Samantha where the
did
body was.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I
we
did
got
not.
to the body.
I am telling you, I did not.
How did Samantha know then?
I don't know, but she's friends with Hasey. I don't know.
Hasey didn't kill her.
She's friends with
Hasey was out of
she's
town.
friends with Ollie. She's friends with all these people. I'm
Okay.
telling you,
Right.
I never did that.
Right.
I never did it.
She's friends with all these people.
No.
Ollie, Casey.
I'm standing on this. No, I never took her down Braddock Road. I never
Okay,
pointed in
then
no
how did
way.
Ollie know? How did Hasey know?
I don't know.
Jordan. You
How
showed
did Jordan
Jordan.
know?
No, I did not. I did not. I'm telling you, I did not. I did not. I did not. I did not.
So all these people are lying on you.
Yes.
For what reason?
Yes, I don't know, but I did not, and I
You
will
did.
say I did not.
Because there was a certain thing on the road.
No,
A
I did
landmark.
not.
There's a landmark on the road
No.
that you would
I'm
only
sorry.
know
I'm
if
sorry
you were
because
there.
I'm not biting because I did not do it. I did not do it.
Well, who did? You were there when it happened. Then.
No, I was not.
Yes, you were. Or
No,
you
I
would
was
not
not.
have known where to show Samantha.
I didn't
Jordan,
show
that-
Samantha nothing.
And
I didn't,
Ollie,
I
where
didn't
that
show
body was.
Ollie nothing. I didn't show Samantha nothing. I didn't show Jordan nothing.
Yes, you did.
Because I did not even know where the woman
You
was.
showed them because why else would you go down Braddock Road that night after that incident?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not show them nothing.
Do you think a jury's going to buy this?
I don't care if they do or not, but I did not do it.
Well, it's
I
prison
know.
for the rest of your life unless you tell me what happened.
I done told you.
That's not the whole story.
It is the whole story. That's all I know, and I didn't do it. You can believe what you want to believe. I did not do it. I swear on my father's grave.
Well, you swore you didn't see Samantha in 2012 either.
I don't remember seeing her.
You
I don't
swore
remember.
you lost your phone 3 days before the incident
I
when you were
don't-
using it 3
I
days
don't-
after the
I
incident.
don't remember dates. I don't remember times.
You would remember this
No.
just like you remember you went down that road twice that night.
I did not go down that road at all, period, with Samantha. I do not hang out with her like
Just
that.
like you didn't go down that road, period, with Sherry for the first 4 years until you just
I
said.
did not. I did not go down that road with
Correct?
Samantha.
For 4 years, you were convincing people you never went down Braddock Road. Until tonight.
I don't know these names of the roads. You're telling me.
I
You can
pointed
tell-
it out to you. You said that's the road. You actually even said it a few times, Braddock Road.
Across from the park next to the food line.
Because he told me it was Braddock Road.
Okay, and I told you it was Braddock Road. But you know it's across from the park and next to the food line.
Yeah, that's because she told me on the shoulder.
And that's correct. That road is Braddock Road. Now, whether you know the name or not, it's not the issue.
No. And as far as riding down this road with Samantha, or riding down this road with Ollie, riding down this road
You said you went down this road with Ollie.
I'm talking about riding down this road with Jordan. I did not point nothing out because I didn't know she was gone. I thought she was still hanging out with them guys.
Well, did you point out where you left her at least? No. Like, that's where I dropped her off?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Well, how the heck do you think you found the remains of Sherry Prather?
I do not.
Because she was in those woods for a month.
I don't know.
Before we found her.
I don't know. I don't know how you found her. I don't know.
And I like how you told one of the girls, I got away with it. They think it's animal remains.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
To Jordan, you thought you got away with it because you said the news is saying it's animal remains, and lo and behold, that's what the news actually did say.
I don't know. I know what you're saying, and I know what you're trying to say, but I did not do this. I'm telling you.
Well, then explain this one last thing to me. How did you know where her body was if you didn't?
I didn't know. I didn't know where her body was.
If I'm convinced, he's convinced, this entire office is convinced, our staff is convinced, our chiefs are convinced,
I don't know where her
the state
body's
attorneys are convinced. Do you think you're going to convince a jury that you don't have nothing to do with that?
I did not know where her body is.
Do you know what it takes to put a murder charge on somebody?
See, you got it already set in your head that I done this crime.
That's because this is 4 years.
4 years.
But I'm telling you, I did not do this.
That's what you say. That's not what everybody else or the evidence.
And
a
lot of people do have it out.
It's your closest people at this time.
They're not.
At this time, it was your girlfriend. It was your ex-wife. It was your Ollie friend, your Hasty friend.
And they are all pissed off at me because we all went off.
They didn't talk to me when they were pissed off.
They talked to us back then.
Well, I'm telling you, I did not say nothing to anybody. I don't even know where her body was found on this road.
Right, because no one else has ever mentioned Hillbilly or those other guys.
Because nobody will.
You never mentioned that to them.
That's because nobody will.
Right, because you never told them about it.
You did tell people different stories because you wanted to know who was going to tell what story.
No. I don't talk to people.
You did back then, Johnny. That's who you were hanging out with. You know what? Matter of fact, you can say you didn't talk to people, but when I show your phone records, all those people that you talked to at that time.
I'm telling you, I did not.
Several people.
I did not go. I don't go around talking about crap like this because I don't believe in it. I didn't kill anybody. I haven't killed anybody, and I'm not going to start killing anybody. I won't even kill an animal.
I guess everybody was wrong in 2004. Everybody's wrong now.
Can I call my wife?
Yes, you're going to be able to call your wife. You got any other questions for him?
Can I go home?
No, you cannot.
Why is that?
Because I'm charging you with murder.
I didn't do murder.
Well, I'm charging you with it, and we can prove it, Johnny.
No, you cannot because I didn't do it.
Okay.
Well, that'll be up for you to...
All right, I want my lawyer.
Yes.
Perfect.
Just have to...
Yeah, you can have a seat.
I want to call my wife.
After what you get next door in the jail, you get to call your wife.
She doesn't have a way for me to call or collect.
There's no way to call her here either. It's going to
What about my cell phone? Because I didn't do nothing and this is wrong.
Johnny.
Throughout, Johnny displays signs of strategic patience, trying to maintain control by his fabricated version of events. However, when he faces the unforgiving reality, his composure cracks. Johnny realizes that he has lost his ability to manipulate detectives, and his lies are no longer sufficient to save him. His erratic behavior and constant self-reinforcement of his innocence reflect his stress and fear of the consequences. It becomes more apparent as he heads down a path beyond his control. The motive behind this unimaginable crime remains unclear, leading detectives to conclude that the act was opportunistic rather than intentional. Johnny was charged with second-degree murder. Initially, he pleaded not guilty. However, 2 years later, in 2018, Johnny changed his plea to guilty on second-degree murder. The same day, he was sentenced to 20.5 years in prison as part of a plea deal.